ex-fiance's rebound turned out to be married gay man. I still remember the exact smell of the hospital corridor that night, sterile, sharp, and cold. It was almost midnight, the kind of hour where exhaustion turns everything into a blur. I'd been on call for 30 hours straight, running on caffeine and habit, not emotion. But when I walked into my apartment and saw her shoes, those white sneakers she wore to work, carelessly tossed by the door, it hit me that despite how chaotic my life had become, I always had her. At least, I thought I did. Her name was Leah, and for 7 years, she was the center of my small, exhausted world. I met her when I was 20, a broke med student, unsure of who I'd become. She was 24, confident, funny, the kind of woman who could light up a dull IKEA showroom just by walking through it. She worked as a cashier back then, managing shifts, balancing schedules, but she had a quiet kind of strength. She proposed to me, actually. Said she didn't care about my long hours or the fact that I barely made rent. She just wanted us. And for years, that was enough. We had plans. Small, simple ones. A winter wedding, a honeymoon we hadn't even picked a destination for yet. I'd saved enough for a ring, one she'd picked herself. We'd talk about the future between my shifts and her late nights at work. We'd argue sometimes about how I was never home, how she felt invisible, but I always thought we were strong enough to survive it. Then came the night everything shattered. It started with a text. One of her coworkers, someone I'd met a few times at IKEA, sent me a message. A single sentence that would change everything. You should probably know who she's been spending her lunch breaks with. I remember staring at that message for a long time, reading it over and over, feeling my pulse throb in my ears. My first instinct was denial. No, not her, not Leah. She wasn't like that. We'd built too much, been through too much. But then something inside me whispered the truth I didn't want to hear. So I drove there, to her workplace. I didn't plan it, didn't think it through. I just acted. When I arrived, I parked far away, walked inside like a ghost, drifting through aisles of furniture that suddenly felt too bright, too fake. And then I saw her, Leah, my fiance, sitting on a display couch in the break area, too close to a man I didn't recognize. Middle-aged, maybe mid-40s, wearing a name tag that said Tom. Her hand rested on his knee, and he leaned in just enough for there to be no mistake about what was happening. For a moment, I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. It was like watching my life collapse in slow motion, one brick at a time. When she noticed me, she didn't even look startled, just annoyed. Mark, she said, standing up slowly, like I'd interrupted her during a casual conversation. What are you doing here? I asked the only thing I could. Who is he? Her lips curled into something that wasn't quite a smile. Someone who makes me happy. That was it. No apology, no explanation, just that. She said she didn't care anymore, that she was done waiting for me to grow up and stop living at the hospital. She said she was tired of feeling alone, tired of me being too busy to notice her. And just like that, she walked away with him. That night, I sat in my car for hours, staring at the ring in my hand. It caught the light from the parking lot, mocking me. I wanted to scream, to break something, but instead I just sat there numb. Because love doesn't die instantly. It lingers like a ghost, even when the person who gave it life has already moved on. By the next morning, she had changed her relationship status. She went public with him on social media, posting pictures, tagging him, writing captions about finally finding happiness. Our 7 years together, erased by 1 week of infatuation. And if that wasn't enough, she made sure everyone saw it. Her coworkers, her family, even mutual friends. As if she wanted to rewrite the story before anyone could question it. She spent her savings on a bigger bed, bought him gifts, posted photos of the two of them cooking, laughing, pretending it was love. Her parents disapproved, told her she was being reckless, but she didn't care. She wanted to prove something. Maybe to me, maybe to herself. I stayed silent. Didn't message, didn't confront. I went to work, went home, and tried to erase her from my life. But every time I closed my eyes, I saw that look on her face, the smugness, the satisfaction of having broken something beautiful and walking away like it meant nothing. And then, a few weeks later, the universe decided to step in. Because one morning, I woke up to a message from one of her friends. You won't believe what happened to Leah. I didn't want to care. I really didn't, but I clicked. And when I read what had happened, part of me felt something dark, something I didn't want to admit. Justice. Because the man she threw everything away for wasn't who she thought he was.